Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about road trip tips to do with a baby. Today I want to share with you some tips about how to road trip with a baby in a pandemic. So most of you probably had planned some trips, maybe with your baby, flying mostly, that's what we planned. But our flights got cancelled, so we visited our family in Texas driving. And I was really scared at the beginning about how we were going to do that. And I want to share with you how we make the trip smoother with these tips. Number one, and I think probably this is the most important, get your baby used to the car seat and the car. When we first put our newborn in her car seat, she didn't like it at all. She would cry every time we would put her in. But we kept doing it and drive around town and just for fun. So me and my husband would have some free time to just chat and hang out. She eventually got used to her car seat. We would put her there, she would stop crying when we put her there, she knew what was going on, and then we would drive around and she would eventually fall asleep or start playing or just hang out. So I think getting the baby used to a car seat and driving around, it's a good first tip. 2, I think baby toys starting from a certain age, like our baby, she's 4 months old, make a great difference. So when, most newborns really don't use toys, but starting at 3 months, she started getting really curious about our toys. We just hang some toys. I'm gonna leave you an image here or here, and a link to Amazon with some baby toys that I think were great for our car drive. The road trip was much easier because she was able to play and I could distract her with her little toys. So I think that was fun for her and made it easier because she wanted to play, she didn't want to be sitting around all day. So that was a good tip. Number 3, I think managing your expectations, it's a good thing to do before a road trip with a newborn or a baby. I think you should manage your expectations. This is because sometimes babies are great in the car and they fall asleep and they hang out and there's no problem, but babies get a right to have a bad day. We don't want to be sitting around all day either. So sometimes babies just get fuzzy, sometimes they cry, sometimes they don't even notice and sleep all the trips. So you gotta manage your expectations and know that anything can happen, but you still gotta make this trip happen and your baby's gonna get through it. 4, be ready to stop. I think this is important, and also be ready to not stop. So when the baby is asleep, you don't want to just stop the car unless you really need gas. You don't want to stop the car and wake up the baby, because that baby was probably going to be fine for at least 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour even. You probably want to stop when your baby is ready to stop. So sometimes the baby just starts crying out of the blue and really needs to stretch. So you should be ready to give her the chance to stretch and stand up a little bit and feed and change the diaper. So I think being ready to stop when the baby needs, it's a great tip too. On the other hand, don't stop if the baby's asleep. If you can make it through, sometimes that's easier. You can get a big 3-4 hour stretch if your baby's asleep and no one is gonna notice. It's the best time. So if your baby's asleep, perfect. Tip number 5, I think you should schedule your road trip around your baby's day. So if your baby wakes up like mine at 5:45, 6 in the morning, we'll wake up with her and start the road trip then. So she will be not so tired and not so sleepy and not so cranky for the day. So I think if you can make that happen, that will be a good one too. In our case, we had a 14.5-hour trip, so at the usual hour that she is fuzzy at home around 6, 7, she was in the car too. But we know that happens at home, so we weren't worried that something happened to her in the car. It's inevitable if you have such a long trip for that not to happen, but if it happens once or twice when your baby moves on or falls asleep, that means your baby just needed to complain and she gets a right to complain, so don't worry about that. Babies may cry, babies may complain, and that's fine. You keep going. Sit next to them. The fact that you keep going and babies complain and everything doesn't mean that you're not gonna support them and you're not gonna be there for them. So what I did was sitting in the back seat with her when she was awake. So I would play with her or feed her or talk to her, even hold hands. She liked me sitting next to her because she didn't feel like abandoned, she didn't feel like she was on her own, or she got more entertained by my presence there. So I think if you can manage to sit with them and you have someone driving and someone back with the baby, that's a great option too. 6. Have a window cover and a baby car seat mirror. We put one of those little mirrors that you put so the driver would see the baby through the mirror and check that she was doing fine. So if she made a noise or she was falling asleep, because babies are facing the other way, we couldn't see her all the time. So if you're not sitting in the back or she's asleep and want to check on her, it's great to have a mirror as well as a window cover. It's inevitable with a long road trip that sun is going to hit your baby, and we don't want that, right? So one of the things that worked best for us was putting a window cover for her so the sun wouldn't hit her directly. Sometimes we even had to cover her car seat with one of those smoothing cloths, very thin ones, so the sun wouldn't hit her directly. But I think you should be prepared for that and make your baby most comfortable. The goal here is making your baby more comfortable for the road trip. But moms, dads, don't worry, your baby's probably gonna be fine. Stop when they need to stop. Feed them as much as they want, change their diapers, be understandable of their needs. Understand that they get to complain, that it's not comfortable being sitting there all day, that even us, we don't like it. Even as adults, we don't like to be sitting around all day. It gets tiring, we get cranky, we get hungry, we need to pee. But that's okay, it's understandable. So understand your little ones and make sure you follow some of the tips so it makes it a smoother trip. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share it. I will be uploading new videos every week. See you soon!